There is what they call sustainable development and sustainability. So if you ignore those two important aspects in the development of this country or of any country, then you have it wrong. And because if, for example, you want to sacrifice environment, yes, sacrifice it, and what good of it are you getting out if you cut all the forests and you want to put there plantations and you degrade all the wetlands and you want to put there industries and factories and you want to extract all the water because you want to build big dams and you extract all the oil resources we have in this region, which are in very, very complex and fragile ecosystems in the national parks, and then you want to extract all the oil in a few years and you finish it all because oil is a non-renewable resource, and you contaminate the waters, the rivers, and you kill the fish. To me, then you have a problem. You have got it wrong. You want development, you want industries, you want factories, you want big plantations, you want oil, you want sugarcane, but then you are missing out on the basic principles of sustainability and sustainable development. And that's what this country is missing, and that's what we are advocating for. Poverty, to my own understanding, is when you don't have food to eat, is when you don't have water to drink. The lakes and the rivers have dried up, or the waters there are contaminated, and you cannot take it. And the crops have dried up, and therefore you don't have anything to feed your children or eat. And the forests have been degraded. You don't have any firewood to cook with, or you don't have timber to cut and put up a shelter. Those are basic needs of any human being. And you don't have to go to those bushes and get medicines to treat your children. So to me, that is poverty. The rest of other things are secondary. The amount of money, paper money you have in your pocket on the bank, that is secondary. If you run short of those basic needs, water, shelter, food, medicines, then you are gone. So there are people who want to clear our environment for their own benefit. Some of them want to get the paper money. Maybe some of them take it to the countries where they come from, and they deceive our people, our leaders, and they give them peanuts so that those people can put up some factories, and so that when the worst comes to the worst, those leaders, those few individuals, the businessmen, the traders who are richer, those can afford to import fuel, can afford to import bottled water, they can afford to take the sick people outside this country, and if the worst comes the worst, they can go and live to where those places are. And the poor, in course, those who don't have what to eat, what to put on, where to live, those are going to be suffering the most. We don't need all those dams now, because if you dam the whole river, then you have a problem. You are not being sustainable. We need electricity. We can put a few dams and even work on what we have, but also look at other sources of energy. There are those which are renewable. For me, I don't want that reason saying it is expensive. It is those people who are advocating for destructing and taking away our environment who are saying that it is expensive. If you force a lot of the dams, it means you're extracting more water, which the rivers cannot support. And once you do that, then you are going to reduce the water in the lake and in the rivers. And as you do that, then you are affecting other aspects that live in the water. For example, the fish, and other biodiversity, but that is one. But two, you are affecting agriculture, you are affecting transport, but also you are affecting the power generation itself, because that happened. And what I'm telling you is not something from the blue. We have experienced it in the dams in Jinja now, because they forced it to produce much more electricity than it would produce. And as a result, the Lake Victoria's levels went down more than 2 meters. And what we experienced was shortage of electricity, power generation, fish died, and our exports, reduced. Agriculture, the water for irrigation reduced. Transport on the waters, became standstill, and all of those. But also, what is more important is that there are other natural aspects. For example, the rapids, all of those will be submerged, and some of them have been submerged, and those are important for cultural aspects and also for tourism. And we get money from tourism. If you affect the water course from here, then you are also having an impact on the water in Egypt and Sudan. And once you reach that, then you have a problem. You have a big, big problem, because to the best of my knowledge, those countries upstream, or downstream, they depend on the water of or rather River Nile. And you have a big, big, big problem. So this water in the River Nile has to be looked at and be utilized very sustainably. And therefore, by the way, in consultation with those other stakeholders in Sudan, in Egypt, in Ethiopia, and other areas. If you don't do that, then you have a problem.